afternoon, professors. On behalf of Veramal Institute of Technology and the Mechanical Engineering Department, I am very much honored to introduce our today's expert speaker, Ms. S. Jayachitra. Ms. S. Jayachitra completed her ME in Communication System and BE in Electronics and Communication. At present, she is working as an assistant professor at Karpakam Academy of Higher Education, Coimbatore. Having more than 6 years of teaching experience and published 8 international journals and standard more than 10 international and national conferences. She also published 3 books titled Advanced Wireless Communication, Wireless Networks, Communication Engineering. Here, areas of interest include machine learning, deep learning, Internet of Things, wireless sensor networks, wireless communication, optical communication, and Industry 4.0. She also organized various workshops and guest lectures and also delivered various lectures in STTP and FDP in various engineering colleges in Tamil Nadu. We welcome you, ma'am, once again for the session. Now
yes,
the session is yours, ma'am.
Okay, sir. First, I would like to thank Department of Mechanical Engineering, Velamal Institute of Technology for providing this opportunity to deliver the session titled of Role of Assessment in Teaching and Learning. Thank you, sir. Sir, I can start my session, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So today we will discuss the session titled of Role of Assessment in Teaching and Learning. As we all are faculty members, we should know how the assessment are made in teaching, and also how we have to give importance to the learning, and also how we have to focus the students to improve their learning skills, and also how they have to be very focused, and we have to evaluate their assessments. That is nothing but based on their performance, how we are giving the improvements to the students. Through the students also, we should also learn, and also we should also teach, and we have to grow up with the students. Assessment, mainly the assessment is it is nothing but the purpose of we are monitoring the particular students, or else for the faculty members, or also we are making the self appraisal like that. For the faculty members, they are preparing in the institution like a self appraisal form like that. For the students, we are making the concept of assessment. Why we are based on which category we are evaluating the assessment is nothing but based on their performance, and how they are performing in the class, and how their attitudes and how their skills have been developed during the academic year and during the particular subject, how he was focused, and how much knowledge he is having, he is exploring in projects, or else innovative ideas, how much he is sharing. That and all comes under the assessment, because the teachers have to evaluate the basic things of the students is nothing but the assessment. And the assessment is nothing but it is particularly, it is only for the single learner. We should evaluate for the single learners, and also we should compare with the students of the whole community. It is nothing but the whole groups of the students in a particular class, and also we have to evaluate not only based upon the marks alone. We cannot evaluate the particular students. He's poor, he is average, he is good, he is excellent, like that. We should not evaluate the students categories based upon the marks alone, because the students may shine in various categories, because one student have the knowledge of innovative skills, and he is very good at projects. He is very knowledgeable in some other doing projects, and also so each and every achievements have to be made in a column, because the student's marks alone cannot determine his future. So each and every improvement of the students have to be monitored, but based upon the marks alone, we cannot categorize the students like a poor or excellent or average student, like that. We cannot categorize. And also we should satisfy the students through teaching, and also the teachers should encourage the students day by day to improve their performance, and also we should meet the expectations of the students, and also we should grow up with the knowledge of teaching, because the teaching in day by day, the generation by generation, we used to grow up but the technology have been developed, because in the earlier days, before 10 years back, there is no IoTs, because before 10 years they use only the embedded technology for communicating on all the purposes. But now the systems has been changed, like Internet of Things have came, and we are integrating the domains with the biomedical image processing. That is nothing but we are monitoring the health conditions and everything we are monitoring. So the technology is growing by every years it was growing. So as a teacher we have to upgrade our knowledge, and also we should encourage the students also very good at the technological skills. They should also grow up. And the main assessment is nothing but we are collecting all the informations, because each and every individual person's performance has to be analyzed by the teacher, and also it will be continuously monitored in the educational system from LKG to up to the college studies. We used to monitor the grade, their performance, like that we used to evaluate. By based upon how we are evaluating the students is nothing but each and every category of achievements have to be monitored, and it is followed from the throughout the education system. It is followed. And why we are in need of why we are evaluating this assessment? Because we should motivate the students, and also we should direct the students to learn by themselves. Not by themselves, we should encourage them, and also how to we should provide them the path to learn, and we should direct them, like you have to study in this way, you have to approach this concept in this way. And we should encourage the students to create more awareness about the creativity skills have to be developed, and the innovation skills have to be developed. Then only the students can able to shine, like they will become they will become to solve the analytical skills, and also they will also able to solve the problem oriented skills also can able to solve only by the students. So we should direct them in a proper way, and also we should give the feedback to the students. Why we are giving the feedback means because they can correct by their mistakes, and also they will start improving. But because that feedback should be, it is of constructive criticism. So there is no criticism that should not affect the students. So we should give the, it is like a constructivism. So constructivism is nothing but we should give the feedback in a positive way. Then only the students will be getting encouraged, and they will start to improve day by day itself. And also we should provide the instructions about why the curriculum have been framed, and why, what is the importance of curriculum, why we have to give importance, and for what purpose we are studying these subjects, and why we have to focus on these skills. Like that we have to give the instructions to the particular students before we are framing the before whenever we are framing the syllabus. But whenever we are taking one particular subject, we have to tell all these things to the students, why we are studying these subjects, and what is the use of studying these subject, and what he is going to achieve after studying. Like that learning outcomes have to be given, like the feedback have to be given to periodically to the students. And also we should ensure, always we should ensure whether the progression was whether the progression was okay, or else whether it has been met, whether the standard criteria has been met or not. Like that we have to evaluate each and every day. And the main principles of assessment is nothing but reliability. Why we are saying reliability? How reliable? Whether the students performance and the curriculum formation has been achieved, whether the both the criteria have been measured. And if we are monitoring the students category and the performance has been evaluated day by day, or else week by week, based upon certain tests we are conducting, and also we are validating the test means how long it will be valid. For example, if we are conducting the 3 assessments or else 1 model exam, like that we used to conduct. So if we are conducting, but based upon the that mark is we are allotting, like he is first, he is second, third, like that we used to allot. But whenever we are allotting those categories, but how long it will be valid? So up to the end of the semester he may be secured first or second, like that it will be valid. But whatever the skills acquired will be the valid for the entire future. So that is the important thing. And next one is the thing but the relevance and the transferability. Transferability is nothing but how the students have been transferred from the uh, previous learning skills, and also after the learning how he was improved. That transferability has been continuously monitored. And we all think that assessment in classroom is like separated, but the teaching is separate and the learning is separate. Like that we may think, because while evaluating the assessment, teaching and learning, it is not a separate category, because teaching and learning is a combined thing, because both are necessary to evaluate the assessment. Because without teaching, we cannot evaluate the students, and also the students cannot learn, because the students can learn by the self also, they can learn, but the entire concepts and the skills we have to teach them and we have to direct them. So it is combined thing, it is not a separate thing. Actually, teaching and learning, while evaluating the assessment, we have to concentrate both on the teaching and learning. And the next thing is characteristics of classroom assessment. So in usually in classroom, how we are evaluating, how we are assessing the students, it may be of a learner center. Learner center is nothing but the students can learn by themselves. Few of the students can learn by themselves because they used to have some extra knowledge, by the reading, or else they may be easily capture the way of approaching the sentence, or else the way of the teacher has taught, like that the students may easily understand few concepts by learning themselves itself. But the second category is teacher directed. Teacher directed is nothing but few students will study only the if the teacher have taught some subjects, and also if he is saying this is important and this is important, like that, if he is directing means he started to study. So that is a teacher directed, because few students will also belongs to this teacher directed category. So these all categories of peoples or will be in same class. So as a teacher we have to evaluate, depends upon the students, and we have to motivate and we have to encourage the students to achieve. And also not only in the based upon the marks, it will be in the skills oriented. So we have to conduct many programs and we have to encourage the students in a different way. And also we have to be evaluate the formative assessment. Assessment is nothing but we are evaluating day by day or week by week, like that we are monitoring the continuous assessment of the student is nothing but the formative assessment. Context is specific, so we should give the specific where you are lagging, like that we have to give the specific feedback to the particular student to improve their performance. And also we should give the roots to the students to grow up, and we should, as a teacher we should support the students to grow up and learn their own skills. Next, what is the role of assessment? Why we are actually I told the assessment is purpose of, like that I have told, but the main thing why we are evaluating the assessment. Assessor is nothing but assessment. Here there are two persons like assessor and assessee. Assessor is nothing but the teacher who is evaluating the performance of the student, and assessee is nothing but the students who are going to be evaluated based upon their performance is nothing but the assessee. So the assessor is nothing but they will have some certain standards, like we are fixing the marks, like if he is getting above 50 he will be passed, or if he is getting below 50 he is failed, like that we used to set some marks to evaluate the students. That is nothing but the assessing the students. But assessee is nothing but the students those are going to be evaluated. And the process mainly concentrates on why we are evaluating the assessment is we have to improve the performance of the students, and also we have to improve in which area he is lagging and which area he have to concentrate. Like that we have to evaluate all the things during the performance of assessment. Mainly assessment is used to determine there are four types of assessment, like a formative assessment, summative assessment, diagnostic assessment, and also the placement assessment. The placement assessment is nothing but after at the last he is going to be getting placed based upon the skills, aptitude skills, and group discussion skills, like that he used to get placed at, it will be in the last. But while assessing the first thing is a formative. Formative is nothing but we have to monitor day by day, and we have to give some feedbacks, and we have to give frequently to improve their performance. That is nothing but the formative assessment. And summative assessment is nothing but at the end of the semester we are giving some grades to the particular students, like marks or else grades if you are allocating for the terminal examinations or else university examinations. For that category, we are allotting the name as summative assessment. Diagnostic assessment is nothing but if we are identifying the weakness of the particular students, and we have to tell them in a prior and we have to improve the performance based upon their skill and where they are lagging. So like that, we have to give all the instructions to the particular students, and they will grow up and they will solve their problems, and they will also start to grow. So next thing is a placement assessment. Placement assessment mainly focused on the aptitude skills, group discussion skills. These skills will be evaluated from the base to formative, summative, like that, because he used to communicate all the things in during the class hours also. So at last only the placement evaluations will be happen. Actually, the students, what they think and what actually happens is nothing but students actually we have to the students are learning continuously throughout the year, like that. We used to think, but the thing happening is the students will study only before the exams, and also the students will focus because we are framing the curriculum, because they have to study the entire semester. The entire curriculum has to be studied for this particular semester, like that we are framing. But actually they used to find what is means before the exam. Only they used to find out this is big questions and this is important, this is not important, like that. They used to focus and they particularly study those questions alone, and they will not concentrate, and they will not know aware of about the curriculum. So we have to insist them in the first semester to eighth semester onwards. We have to insist the students why we are framing the curriculum, why we have to focus on the particular subjects, like that. We have to insist from the first semester to at the end of the semester. So the students mind, they thought before the exams we can study these questions alone important, we can study. So the remaining concepts and at all, they won't bother about it, and also they will be very lagging in the concept wise. And also the students who take feedback on board and use it to learn. Actually the students, those are willing to willingly, they will get the feedback from the faculties, and they used to always learn. But they are afraid to get the feedback from the teachers in front of the other students, because they face some guilty conscience about if the teacher is saying some feedback in front of our friends means so somewhat a guilty conscience. So like that the students are thinking, but actually it this the system has to be like this, but the system has been changed. So the students who understand and engage with the material, but actually the curriculum has been framed, he should always engage, and also he have to study these materials, like that. But few of the students have concentrated on particular subjects, and they focus and they will start to grow. But few of the students, they start to memorize only for the exams, and they will mug up and write the exams, and the day itself the subject has gone from the brain. But in 21st century learner, so all the students, how the because the technology, the centuries, the year by year technology have been developed. So how the skilled persons of the students have been grown up means they have the ability to solve the problem, and they used to think in a different way. That is, a creativity has been grown in the 21st century students. And also they used to think how to solve the problem in a different way, and also they are a very critical thinker. And here the information, because the multimedia communications and informations, lot of informations are confirmed and shared through the different social medias, and they are very aware of the news and informations about all the related including studies also, and also the other things which is happening around the world. So everything they are very usage of social medias and to learn the informations. And also digital learning nowadays, after during the corona period, every day everybody is using the online assessment, online class, everything they are started to use. So it was because it was very digitalized, and they become so innovative in thinking, and they have solved the problems. And also they are very self directed, because no, they don't need anyone to guide, but a few of them may need someone to guide. But this 21st century's learners are very extraordinary thinker. So we have to cope up, and we have to give more encouragements and supports to the students to become the future generations of young engineers, or else young generations. And because the students behavior, and also how the designs have been framed means, first the summative assessment. Assessment is the concluding of all the semester, how much he is securing each marks, like that we used to categorize. Next we used to frame the like formative assessment. Formative assessment like monthly once exam, midterm exams, short term exams, like that we used to conduct. And also the oral feedback, maybe through voice we are giving some feedbacks, and it was maintaining like the design procedure was framed like that. But the timing of assessment, how long the period of assessment has been taken, like uh, for example, we are evaluating this for 1 week, or else 1 day, or else 2 days, or else 1 month, like that. How the assessment has been made, like that we have to frame. But the aspects of student learning behavior was how it was different means, actually uh, they put how much actually we are giving the students, this is like that we are giving. But they are not putting much effort to that particular learning. So we have to monitor how much effort they have to put for that particular learning, and also how the efforts have been distributed, and also what part of the syllabus they have focused, whether it was a skill oriented or else a knowledge oriented, like that we have to evaluate. And also we have to give the feedback, and how they prepare for their assessment. For example, if you're conducting the 3 assessments during the semester, so how they have prepared, like that we have to evaluate. So this is the categories of how the aspects have been framed, and how the students learning behavior have been different. Next, what are the good qualities of good assessment? As faculties, we have to evaluate the students performance based upon their not only the marks, and also I have told earlier that based upon the skills, knowledge, and everything, innovative skills, projects, and whatever the things they are very interested, we should encourage them in we should encourage them and motivate them to achieve in that particular field. The main assessment, it is not important to allocate the grade like A grade, B grade, like that it is not much important. But based upon, if it is a summative assessment, we have to allocate the grade like A, B, C, like that we have allocate. But for the formative assessment, we will not allocate any grade performances. And also assessment is nothing but the feedback for both instructors and students, because this teacher have taught in this way, and the students have performed very poor in this subject. uh, so I cannot understand the subject, what she thought or what he thought, like that the students may evaluate. But that feedback also accepted by the teacher, and they should also improve. And also we have to focus on that particular area, and also as well as the students and instructors both have to get the feedback, because then only the learning will be very smooth. And also assessment, whenever we are evaluating the assessment, because in the student side also they will start to improve their learning. And also the faculties, if you are getting some feedbacks, if you are getting, they can also rectify, and they can also improve their way of teaching or their way of method, like that they can also change. Next, how the good assessment and the feedback practices, what actually the good assessment is nothing but how good performance is. Actually, it is a help to clarify what good performance is nothing but whether he have met the goals, or else whether he have met the criteria or standards, whatever the standards we are fixing, whether he has satisfied everything, like that we have to first check it. Then we have to encourage the time and efforts, whatever the time they are spending for the learning, or else doing something. So we have to encourage that efforts they have put for that particular task. Next, we have to give the high quality feedback, nothing but we should give the original feedback about whether it was a good or else it was a constructivism. So we have to give the high quality feedback to the learners, because then only they can aim themselves. And also we should voting, so we have to do something, mind of the students. We should create the environment with a positive, and also the students, the staffs also very positive, motivational speaker to the students. And also we should encourage the interactions and the dialogue around learning. It is nothing but a teacher and the student, and also the student communication. Through student communications, they can easily share with their friends about what's happening and what's going on in their life and what they are doing. Like that they can easily share. And also we should encourage the teacher student communications, because we will give the feedback, so they used to grow up and they used to improve. So we should focus on that interactions and the dialogues. And also we should facilitate the development of self assessment and reflections in learning. Self assessment is nothing but they are evaluating by themselves, how we uh, we itself evaluating ourselves, that is nothing but a self assessment. And how the reflections after self evaluating, we should how he was reflecting after learning. Like that uh, we have to give the space to develop themselves. And also learner choice in assessment. Learner's choice is nowadays actually CBCS choice based credit system have been announced. So based upon their choice, they can study the subject and they have do the collaborative projects. Like that those were encouraged for the past 4 5 years. The choice based credit system was supported in our Indian systems also, education systems also. And also it will helps the students to discuss many things. And also they started to follow, if we are insisting and if we start guiding the students, and they will start to grow up. And also it will mainly support the learning communities, nothing but the group learning or else self learning, and it will always helpful to the learning communities. And also it will help the teachers to adapt the teaching to students needs. It is nothing but if the teachers is giving some the way of method has to be modified. Like that, because if it is too fast or if it is too slow, like that they used to give. But the feedback has been accepted by the teacher, and the teacher has been changed his way of teachings and everything according to the students needs, because he wants the students to learn, to develop their skills, to their knowledge. So they started to focus on developing themselves. These are all some good assessment and feedback practices. And the second thing is, what are the innovative assessments we can do in our classrooms? Nothing but first thing, we can do conference as a form of assessment. We can insist the students to present a seminar or else a paper in front of the stage to tell about the concepts. So it is some of innovative assessment is nothing but because they can explore how they can explore what they have did in their project, or else what they have did in their work. They can, it is a platform to open their mouth in front of everyone. So it is a very good platform. And also we can give some video assignments, and we can give some creative questions after seeing the video. We should ask the students to write it up, some essays like what you have observed, like that we can give some assignments. And also video reflection blogs, we can insist the students to write the blogs of how what he have observed in the videos. Like that we can insist the students. And also we can arrange the students to make a group posters in the class. And also podcast videos. Like that we can make many innovative assessments to the students. Like we can give this for example, if we are in the rubrics also, we can give like videos, if we can upload and observe the video, and you can write the essay. Like that we can give. And also we can use the platform for developing the innovative assignments. And also we can encourage the students to work along with the projects like industrial projects, collaborative projects. Like that we can encourage the students to work upon. And also we can give some role plays. Role plays is nothing but, for example, if we want to make the communication, so what usually communication needs, the sender needs actually, and the receiver also needs, but the information has to be transferred from one place to another place. But for that scenario we can use filmed role plays. How we can means, but we used to say The communication is nothing but the information is transferred from one place to another place is nothing but the communication. The sender is the those who want to transmit the information, and the receiver is nothing but those who receives the information. But in which medium the information is transmitted, either through the phone call or else it was sending us a message. So how the message is transferred from one particular place to another place. For example, if you are taking it as a for example, if you are buying a chocolate, so it was coming from the who is a product manufacturer, so they are the transmitter, but we want to use the chocolates, so we will be the receiver. But in which mode it will be transported, either transports or else through the shop we are getting those chocolates and other. So like role plays, we can give some concepts oriented, and those concepts will be they used to have everything in the mind, because the role plays will always, it is the best thing actually we have to follow during the class hours of some particular concepts, because they cannot forget the concepts, and also it was in a realistic thing. So we can encourage the role plays also in our classrooms, and also we should encourage the group work on a Wikipedia or else a Padlet. Like that we can encourage the students to group work, and also we can insist the students to use forum discussions. So forum discussions, we can discuss whatever the doubts they are having, or else we can communicate the students, if even if they are having a simple doubts also they can ask, and we can able to resolve through the forum discussions. So we can use this as also a one of the innovative assessments. And also we can insist the students to participate now with industry. We can arrange some seminars with industry persons to communicate and how the industrial thoughts and how the industrial skills have to be developed during the studies itself. And we should make the students to interact with industrial panelists is nothing but those who are industrialized person, though we have to communicate with the industrial persons, the students have to communicate. So and also they can they can understand what mistakes they have made. And also if he is presenting some presentations in front of the panelist, so he can able to understand what he's getting either feedback is nothing but either it was a good or a bad, and what he is bad at and what he is good at. So like that it was one of the innovative assessments. And also this is presenting to industry panelists. It is nothing but the students can present their live project in front of the industry people, so they can bring the actually they will make because what are the subjects we are studying, so that all the subjects will not be useful in our project, or else in whenever we are going for industry. So we should encourage the students to be skilled at particular subject, and this will be focusing on this area, and this will be focusing on this area. Like that we should encourage the students to be good at skills, because the skills are the mandatory thing. Because whenever we are acquiring the skills or knowledge, we can survive anywhere. So we should encourage the students, and also we should make one arrangements like in front of the industry people, they have to deliver the live projects like mini projects or else the main projects. Like that we should encourage the students to present. And also it will create some link about the employability. They can give some feedbacks and what are the areas you have to improve. Like that the industrial persons can give some feedbacks, and based upon the feedbacks uh, that students also will develop. And also in the academic side and also in the practical side is nothing but the project oriented skills. A few students may be good at very projects. They will be having a very good knowledge in developing new things, and also creating innovating, and also they will be very good at problem solver. So those students have to be encouraged. The industrialist will come because the teacher point of view will be different and the industrial point of view will be different. So those because as a teacher we used to give the feedback during the formative assessments and also day to day. But in the industrial persons, if we are making the arrangements like the industrial panelist, and they can communicate, and they will get some new exposure how we have to face the problem, how we have to solve the problems. Like the problem skills have been developed for the students. And this is a authentic assessment. Authentic assessment is nothing but how authenticity is nothing but how authentic the skills, knowledge, attitude we are applying to the particular uh, skills based upon the situations, how we are implementing in the professional life also, and also the day to day life. So this is very important. And what are the characteristics of authentic assessment is nothing but we should ask the students to perform, create, produce, or do something. We should always encourage the students to create new things, to produce, to do something. We should motivate always the students to do meaningful activities. Whatever the skills which are very helpful to their life, we should give some meaningful activities. And also we should encourage the students with high level of thinking, and they have to problem solver analytical skills, they have to be developed for the particular students. And also we should encourage the students to solve the real world applications, real world applications, because lot of industrial problems and also in day to day life, farmers are facing many issues. So those problems have to be how we have to rectify those problems, like that a real time we should relate all the topic with real time applications. Then they can able to easily uh, understand, and they will apply all the concepts in real world problems also. Why the authentic assessment is very important, and how the assessment in higher educations is used as a is used to enhance their skills, students skills is nothing but usually the authentic assessment, and it is mainly focused on it will think only the outside of the classroom. It is out of box thinking, like that we used to say. So authentic assessment is nothing but those who are having the out of box thinking, normally the students used to think for, they will give one solution for one particular problem, but they used to think in a different way, and they will give those who are unique in something, they will be having the authentic assessment. And also metacognitive skills is nothing but they are very good at some proficiencies or skills is nothing but job oriented skills, on job training skills, like that we have to give to the students. And also they will also develop that, they will acquire the skills in particular. For example, if it is a mechanical, they will be very good at a CAD design. So if it is a EC student, he will be very good at PCP designing. So like that, for if he's a CSC, he will be very good at IoT. So that depends upon the technology development, we have to acquire the skills, then only we can able to get the job. And also depending upon the technology development only we can able to grow up. And this is assessment loop. First we should design, and also we should measure the students learning, then we should discuss, and also we should collect the actually we should collect the students performance, and also we have to discuss with the students. And based upon you are good at something, you are good at, you are poor at this, you are average at this, like that we have to analyze all the assessment, and also we have to give the students to improve their skills and also their career growth. Then we should determine based upon the outcomes is nothing but the learning outcomes, what he have achieved after studying these subject, or else the skills what he have achieved, that have to be monitored. And also we should develop and also we should modify, if there is any curriculum modifications in year by year, there must be some changes in universities, like curriculum modification maybe of a 20% or 30%, they will change the curriculum syllabi. But that will be evaluated after the performance of the learning outcomes of the particular students, the particular category of the analysis. After the analysis only we can able to reframe the curriculums, then we can evaluate at the end of that is learning outcomes. So we should whatever the subjects we are giving almost 54 subjects during the engineering, but what he have achieved after studying those subjects, those learning outcomes plays a major role in evaluating the assessment. Teaching learning assessment cycle is nothing but whatever the learning goals will provide the learning opportunities. Learning opportunities will provide the ways to achieve some better results, and it will produce based upon the result they used to get feedback. After getting learning opportunity, they will get feedbacks. They after the feedbacks, they will share the results. He is getting 70 marks, 80, 90, like that he used to get. But based upon the results, again he have to regrow. Oh, so he is lagging at something, so he had to improve in this way. So like that, the life cycle of assessment cycle has been continuously, it was progressing, because the teaching and learning will never stop at any cost. What are the online tools? Because during the pandemic situations, we are all are using the online assessment only. And how we are evaluating the online assessment means, but first thing is online assessment and offline assessment both, because in previous year 2019 we are using the offline assessment only. After the pandemic situations, we started to use the online assessment. And also how we are using the because for online assessment also, offline assessment also, we are in need of internet. And also for gadgets is nothing but electronic gadgets. What are the smartphones they have been using, or else computer they have, laptop here they have been used. So for that, it is the category of based on usage of gadgets. Next is based on patterns followed. What are the patterns is, what are the types of assessment we are following. So which gadgets we are using, either computer or a laptop or else a phone, smartphone we are using, like that we used to evaluate. Then based on which pattern the assessment has been evaluated. First thing is a diagnostic assessment, second one is a formative assessment, third one is a summative assessment, fourth one is a norm referenced assessment, fifth one is a criterion referenced assessment. uh, Based upon the strategies, because we use online pedagogy on conducting various assessment tests to the students, and what are the types of questions, what are the types of models we are giving for the online assessment evaluations for the pedagogical tools. We used to give the multiple choice questions, MCQ questions, or else we can give the short answers, and also some essay type questions like big questions we used to give, and also some file response questions also we used to give, and also quizzes. We are encouraging the students to analyze the skills. We are conducting some quizzes also, and also they have to arrange the questions like the match the following, like that we started to give. And also fill in the blanks, like 1 mark also we used to give. And hotspot questions is uh, like for example, if we are teaching that English for that subjects and at all, we used to hotspot questions, jumbled sentence, and a drop down list, matching, drag and drop. These are all they can use this for English, and this is, or we all are using for the common assessment and comprehension proficiency testing. These questions all has been used for the English subjects, and also this is commonly used for all the subjects. So next thing is online assessment tools. What are the tools we are using means, Google Forms we are using mainly. Everybody is using to conduct the exams for assignment or else assessment and everything. We are using the Google Forms, and also some other tools are also available. Plickers, Socrative.com, Nearpod, Padlet, Seesaw, Recap, Kahoot, Quizlet, Visualize. In this we can upload the question papers. Google Form we can upload the question paper, and also we can get the replies from the students, and also we can communicate. But this Recap, Kahoot, Quizlet, Visualize is used to mainly used to for whenever we are giving the quizzes like 10 questions or 20 questions like that we want to give. So we can give in this categories, and we can able to get the quiz response from the students. And here the Nearpad, Padlet, these are entirely different. We can make the communications like we can make the students to communicate with like discussion forums also has been used this in Nearpad and also Padlet. So these are some online assessment tools have been used. And the main basis of assessment is assessment of learning, assessment as learning, assessment for learning. So these are some categories of assessment based upon the assessment, how of learning, why they are saying as learning and why they have been saying as for learning. Because assessment of learning is nothing but uh, we can evaluate the students based upon their achievement, how they have achieved. That comes under the category of assessment of learning. Assessment for learning is nothing but we should give the feedback on learning also we have to give, and also we have to give the teaching, also we have to give the feedback. So that is nothing but the assessment for learning. And assessment as learning is nothing but we should regulate, and also we should critically evaluate the learning methods. So we have to use the critical methods, that is nothing but the assessment as learning. And first thing we will say about the assessment as learning. Assessment as learning, it mainly occurs for the own assessors. For self evaluations, we are using this assessment as learning. And here the students can monitor how they have been improved, and how they have been day by day they have been growing, and what they have to do and what they can do, and they can daily they can access, and how to use the assessment. If they started to learn the new things or new skills, new knowledge, and they can easily able to monitor as assessment as learning, how he was 1 week before and how he was achieving after 1 week, like that the evaluations has been made in the assessment as learning. And the main purpose of why we are evaluating this assessment as learning is means because it always encourages and motivates the students, because they can take the responsibility for their own learning, because they are achieving, so they have to celebrate, and they have to the own learning has been encouraged due to the, because depends upon the students their thought, and because they depends upon their mindset only, they started to work on the projects, or else work on the everything, they will start to focus, depends upon their, it is their responsibility to work on that particular assessment as learning. And also it will encourage always to ask the students about their learning, because how much I have learned, how much I have to do, like that it will always, because it is a self learning, so they have to evaluate by themselves. And also it will sometimes it will also involve the teachers and students, because the creative learning happens when the two persons are interacting, and they can share their thoughts, knowledge, and they will develop new things. So that is also a very important thing. And it will provide the students to use a formal and informal feedback, because formal feedback we used to fill it up, and we can give directly to the concerned person, you have to improve, and like that we can give the formal feedback. And also the informal feedback, sometimes oral communications also we used to give some feedback. So that is a informal feedback, and they don't have any copy of writing this feedback, you're something, you're good at this, you are bad at something, like that they won't give in the informal feedback, because it was a, actually it was not a paper and a pen format. And also self assessment, usually self assessment can be, it will be evaluated for the teachers and also the students, because both have to be developed uh, through the teaching and also the learning. So it encourages peer assessment, it is nothing but the self assessment, or else with the peer is nothing but the we can correct the assessment, whatever the test we have did, and we can exchange the paper like with our friends to evaluate. And also we can give the students can give the paper to correct by themselves. So this is all comes under the category of assessment as learning. And the second thing is assessment for learning. So this assessment for learning, mainly it involves teachers, because it includes teachers, and also the students knowledge, understanding how they have understand, and how the skills have been developed, and how the teaching has been, because these skills spokes about the teacher, how he have taught particular that subjects. So how the assessment is made for both the teachers and also the students. Here the formative assessment is followed. Formative assessment is nothing but it is a continuous learning process. So we have to day by day the teaching and also the learning, so every day have to be monitored, and also the understanding level of the students, and also the learning level of the students. And we should also evaluating the students assessment. So these are all the assessment for learning. And it mainly focus of it will be have both formal and informal assessments. And also it will have some clear goals about the learning activity, because what he is going to achieve after 1 month, what he is have to achieve after 2 months, after 6 months, I have to be like this, like that. They should have them some plans, goals to achieve in the future perspective. They can move like that, in that way. And also it will help the students to get better day by day. They started to achieve better if they started to focus on themselves. It started to achieve day by day, they started to grow up. And also it will provide some effective feedbacks, because the learner needs some feedback, and also it will encourages the students to learn, and also they will started to improve themselves. And how because we are evaluating the students through some assessments, and if we are giving some positive feedbacks, and all the students they started to improve themselves. And it will also encourages the self assessment and also the peer assessment, because it is a part of a regular classroom activities. Next, it involves the complete teachers and also the students and also the parents, because all the three have been involved, because we have to convey the information about the students to the parents. So it will all are interconnected in this category. And it is mainly of all learners, not only the particular learner or the a particular individual, but is because it is of a group community. If it is a classroom, so we have to focus all the 40 students or else the 60 students. We have to focus all the students and all the learners, and all the learners we have to treat them in the same way. And also we have to encourage them to achieve more goals, and we have to make the students to be skill oriented and knowledge oriented and real time problem solver. And they should acquire analytical skills, and they should create and innovate new things for this society. We should make the young generations to shine in this type of activities only. And this is the assessment of learning. Of learning is nothing but achievement is based on achievement. How after, for example, if you are achieving something after the 6 months, that is a learning outcome. But based on which criteria he is achieving this, based on which standard he is achieving this, how we are saying he is achieving, like that we have to evaluate is nothing but the assessment of learning. And it is also called as a summative assessment. For else, if you are evaluating for the 6 months, or else a 1 year, or else a 1 month, or else 2 month, like that we are a monthly basis, or else a 6 month basis, or else a 1 year basis, like that. If you are evaluating one particular person and we are allocating some grades to that particular persons, then we are saying it as a summative assessment. And here, because the validity and reliability of activities mainly depends upon this assessment of learning, because here we are providing the grading system or else the ranking system, first rank, second rank, third rank, like that, or else a grading system A plus, B plus, like that. We used to allot the grading for this assessment of learning. And also it provides the opportunity for the learners, and also we should provide the quality feedbacks to the students, and also the students will also provide the feedback to the teachers. And this is type of assessment. What are the types of assessment? Means a prognostic assessment, diagnostic assessment, formative assessment, summative assessment. So prognostic assessment is nothing but we can diagnosis is nothing but we are analyzing, for example, if we are diagnosis the disease, or else are diagnosing the fault, like that. If you are analyzing, mean that is a diagnosis assessment. But a prognostic assessment is nothing but we are analyzing the abilities of particular person and how much potential they are good at, because he is good at doing some extra projects or live projects or else industrial projects. We should analyze through their abilities and how potential they are shining in that particular field. We have to evaluate those conditions is nothing but the prognostic assessment. And also we should find first, we should find the right person for evaluating those criteria, because it will helps to improve our personal developments also. And if, for example, if we are comparing based upon their job descriptions or else profile descriptions, for that what we have achieved and why we are comparing with that, with that who those who have achieved, like that. And at all we have to monitor. And also based upon the conditions, and also the development has to be ensured and also has to be enhanced. Here, the quality assurance and sustainability, for example, how the results has to be monitored means whether it was a long term or also short term, whether it was a 6 months or also 1 year, like that we have to monitor. The prognostic assessment mainly it will be used in not on the education system side, but because the prognostic assessment has been used in the executive board or administrative council, like that only we used to evaluate this prognostic assessment. And also this will be mainly of individual one day, this one day what we have achieved, like that only we used to evaluate. So this is completely of individual, based upon the individual performance only this prognostic assessment will be evaluated, and this will not be calculated for the students performance assessment, because this will be for handled by the management or the executive board or the administrative council of the department or else college, like that only they used to evaluate this prognostic assessment. And formative assessment is nothing but we used to have assessing the performance of students day by day, and we are giving some feedbacks to the students. So this is a formative is nothing but a day to day progress. And also as a being an instructor, we also have to we also have to analyze the progress of our own ourselves, and also we should monitor the student progress also. And also we should encourage the students to participate all the activities and help the students to get more interactive and innovative way. So we should support them, and also we should encourage the students to say after 1 week you have to do this, after day by day you have to show the improvement, like that we should encourage all the students. And this formative assessment will not be calculated anywhere, because there is no ranking or else grading systems to determine the teaching effectiveness for the formative assessment, because we used to have only the ranking system in summative assessment. Here the main actually the formative assessment is mainly of framing for daily feedback we can get from the instructor or as the teacher, because the students also can tell some feedbacks, because they can improve their teaching. And also if the teacher is giving some feedbacks to the students, and they can also start improve their learning. So it was a continuous process, so it was a formative assessment. And in formative assessment, there are some categories: observations, homework exercises, questions and answer sessions, conference between the instructor and student at various points in the semester, student feedback collected by periodically. What the thing is saying here is actually we can give some exercise, or else we can give some work to the students for their skills, for their career skills, or else for their analytical skills, like that we can give some assignments. And also we can encourage the students to do the work. And also we can make the conference like presenting the paper, or else presenting the concept in front of everyone. So he can instructor, because he can correct the students point. And also during the entire semester the progress has been carried out. And also the students feedback will be collected periodically, it may be of 1 week or else a 2 week, like that we can be collected through the formative assessments. In formative assessments usually of either the students may be learning or not learning, because all the students may not have interest of studying at all, because the few students are concentrate on their projects, because they are very good at analytical skills or else the industrial projects they used to do. So we should encourage the students whatever their career, whatever they wish to be, we should encourage them, but in a positive way, because both are needed. Because without the studies we cannot achieve that thing, and also without that thing we cannot achieve this. So we should balance that, and we should encourage, and we should um, insist the students to know the importance of that assessment and also feedbacks. So formative assessment, we will not score, we will not allocate any ranking on also the graded. And we can conduct some quizzes and also assignments, like informal questioning, like that we can give to the students to make the particular topic interactive, like that we can evaluate through the formative assessment. And this formative assessment will help the students actually, because they can improve their strength, and also they can improve their weakness, and also where they have to improve their area. Like that they can concentrate and they can improve their own particular way. Then the faculties can recognize where the student, because the faculty is only the because they are the feedback providers. So we should support the students where the students are struggling, and we should address the problems immediately then and there to correct them, because then only they can grow up, they can rectify their mistakes. Because of our feedbacks only they started to grow, and they will be getting their career in a more shine way. And a diagnostic assessment is nothing but actually we have to identify our students with current knowledge, because whatever, because this technology has been today it will be very good, but after 5 years some other technology will be there. So we have to analyze the what skill set he is having, what knowledge he is having, skills what abilities he is having. Like that we have to analyze. As a teacher we have to analyze all the skill sets of the students, and also what he can able to do, and whether he is good at projects. Like that we can encourage the students, and we have to diagnose the assessment, and also we can analyze the strength and weakness, because it will provide the strength and weakness usually it will provide the students to move in a better path, and also they can understand and they can shine, because they can rectify the both the strength, they can increase their strength, and also they can minimize their weakness by the students, by the teachers feedback. So here, what are the assessments has been done for the diagnostic assessment is nothing but we can conduct the pre-test. Pre-test is nothing but we can conduct a formally one before the grading system exams. We can conduct some pre-test for sample exams, and also we can make some self-assessment, like we are giving some quiz to answer for the students, and also we can arrange some discussion forum to discuss, or else we can give some polls to answer for all the students, and also we can conduct some interviews for the skill oriented programs. So like that we can analyze and we can diagnose the skills and the knowledge of the students, and we can encourage the students to shine and in a more positive way. And summative assessment, usually actually the summative is nothing but the semester end or else the year end, because the summative assessment is the collective assessment. So it will be provide the complete feedback about throughout the semester or the throughout the year. Like that the evaluation has been made in the summative assessment, and this summative assessment will have usually the grading system or else the marks based system. Like that we will be evaluated. But in during but in colleges and also the schools also, they used to follow the formative assessment, and also the summative assessment will be made especially in the colleges 6 months once the semester exams, in semester exams, university exams. Like that we used to evaluate, and we are allocating the grading systems and marks systems in various ways. So that is a summative assessments. And here what are the summative assessments, which categories we are saying it as a summative assessment is nothing but first we are conducting some examinations. It may be of terminal examinations or model examinations. Like that we are conducting, and we are allocating some marks, and we are giving some gradings marks to the students. So based upon that, that is also a summative assessments. And also in the final end semester examinations, that is nothing but the university examinations. That is a final examinations, and based upon the projects, how they are performing, how they are well good at developing, and then also how they are projecting their skills, because whatever they have did, they can explore, and they are exposed how we have to present the projects in front of everyone, being because he may be becoming the industrial persons, or else he may be become the entrepreneur. So for that and all, we should encourage the students to do some from mini projects to projects, main projects also we have to evaluate through the summative assessments. We can evaluate, and also the portfolios performance of the students, and also we can evaluate the course, particular course, what he have achieved throughout the course. And also teacher should evaluate the particular student, and also the student can also evaluate because the teacher should evaluate because he is good at something. So the like faculties also, the students also will have the some monthly wise upgradations or achievements. So that performance have been monitored by only the instructor or the teachers. So mainly summative assessment, mainly where we are prognostic, we are using in the administrative council, like that we are using. But here formative we will use to follow for the school students also, and also for the college students also we used to follow formative assessment. But summative assessment, it is mainly used for student learning, because we are fixing one standard, and whether they are because if he is getting pass at securing 50 marks, then he was passed. If he is getting below 50, he was failed. So like that, we are setting some standards, whether they have achieved that target. Like that, we are monitoring through the summative assessment. Because if he is getting passed after the 50 marks, then we are allocating the grade as A or B or C, like that we are allocating. But if you are, if he is getting below of that particular standard, we used to say he was failed. So that was during the summative assessment, it was declared as arrear during the end semester examinations. So like that, the summative assessment have been evaluated. And here the summative assessments also include in during the college exams, terminal examinations or model examinations, like that they used to conduct. And also the final project, and the paper presentations and the senior recital. These are all how they have been interacted throughout the semester and how much they have secured. So those categories have been evaluated in the summative assessments. And here there are four basic methods we are following for the assessing. First thing, selected response and short answers giving. Second one, extended written response we are giving. Third one, performance assessment. Fourth one, personal communications. So these four assessments are commonly used to evaluate uh, the answers for assessing. Why we are assessing the techniques means we should have some prior knowledge, and we should recall, and we should have the understanding skills, and we should assess the skills, and we should make the students to be more creative, and also we should encourage the students to be skilled at particular applications. And also we should encourage the students to think in a critical way, and also the creative thinking have to be encouraged, innovative skills have to be analyzed. So these have to be this have to be initiated only by the instructor, and the students will start to survey by their own. And what are the tools we are using means, for cognitive assessment and student learning, we are using four categories. First thing is a convergent thinking, divergent thinking. There are two types of people. Convergent thinking peoples also will be there, and also the divergent thinking peoples also will be there. And the next thing is a problem solving skills, because the few students are be good at problem solving, and also the decision maker, because for one particular problem, what the decisions has to be made, and what we have to solve, like that. Some persons may be good at the decisions making. And in the selected response assessment, we used to give some objective type questions, and that objective type questions should not be in an easier manner, because as we are in a higher education system, so it should be of analytical skills, and also it should be more oriented for it should not be in a single like A or B, like that. The answer should not be like no, answer should not be like that category. So it should satisfy both the answers, like that. We have to think and create the questions for the objective types, and also we should give the matching terms. mm, and we should it should also be in an innovative thing. And a short answer, these are all comes under the selected response assessment category. Next, convergent learning and thinking. Actually, in this category only, we are having this convergent, divergent, critical, problem solving, decision making. Convergent learning is nothing but based upon their thoughts and their own experiences and how they are feeling and how they are sensing, observing, how they are observing. That is nothing but the cognitive learning. So, convergent thinking usually they won't accept all the things by if someone is saying they won't accept they start to analyze, so whether it was good or bad, and they will start to ask the questions. So that is a convergence thinking. And divergence thinking, they always blindly accept whatever, if someone is saying you are bad at something like that, if they are saying, and they started to think about those bad things in their mind, and they started to believe, so they we are not good, like that they started to think. That is a divergent thinking. And critical thinking peoples usually have, they used to communicate with the near ones, or else the teachers, or else those who are in they can discuss with the parents also, they, because they will be more interactive. So critical thinking people will be very open minded wherever they goes. They will be start to explore whatever the ideas they are having, they can start to share, and they have the ability to problem solving skills they will be having. And also they will start to do innovative things, and they will analyze each and everything whether it will work out or not, and they will do it as a trial and error method. So the critical thinkers should have to be encouraged and motivated, and they have to do many projects and by the support of the faculties. And here the critical thinking, uh, actually we can, they used to have questions, analyzing skills, exploring, testing, everything they will be having. The problem solving is nothing but they used to discover something, and they started to analyze, and they have the capability to solve the problems. Those are the problem solver, like that we used to say. Decision making, so decision making is nothing but they will set some goals. For this month we have to achieve this, and like this they have to set the goals. And also for else, if some problems also happening, they started to how, for this particular problem, how we have to rectify those particular problem. And the particular decision makers should be of they can face, they can ready to face both the things, they can ready to accept both the mindset of whether it was accepted or else rejected. So they will be having they may have the very good decision maker skills. A few of the students have some decision making skills. And the selected response assessment is nothing but the objective type matching terms short answer. This is a objective type should not be in a single answers like A or B, like that we should not be. So it have to be like, because being the higher educations, so we have to give the questions like some tricky questions have to be asked in the objective types. And also the matching terms also same type of questions have to be asked, but in of different thinking. So we should encourage the critical thinking or creativity among the students. So the questions have to be framed like that. And the short answers, big questions, these are all common for evaluating the assessments. And what are the benefits of this creative thinking means, because they can express their thoughts and they can analyze, they usually have the skills. And they started to do the some experimentation is nothing but they will be more involved in doing projects or some innovative things. They will be very free to contact with the near ones or the peer ones, or else the instructor, because those students have to be encouraged and they have to come up in their life. And the brainstorming, why the brainstorming is necessary in the pedagogical system means, actually because we can we are just giving some breaks to think. And they used to have come up with different ideas, and the different ideas will bring one solutions to the one particular problem. So that is a brainstorming, because it will always involve, for example, if you're conducting the brainstorming during the class hours, so it will make the students, everyone to interact. And also they used to check out whether they are having any previous experience of that particular whatever the problems, or else they they never have failure. They don't have any fear of failures, because they started to share whatever they knows, and also it will create some creativity. So it will create the habit of creating, and also they will develop new skills, and also they will be very interested to keen interest on developing new projects on innovative ideas, because during brainstorming they used to everyone started to say whatever their ideas are. So the whatever the ideas are coming up, so we should encourage them and to find the solutions for that particular problem. And here this is the levels of learnings and Bloom's taxonomy. So we have saw that the learning, teaching, and at all, and Bloom's taxonomy, remembering, understanding, because that is of a lower order, and usually remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, creating. So we all have to frame the questions during the assessment examinations or the assignment examinations. We have to formulate all the questions based upon the Bloom's taxonomy. Means these students will acquire the knowledge of, because they can evaluate, or else they can, based upon their creativity, they started to think and they started to write the answers for that. So we should initiate those things among the students. And remembering and understanding, it is a lower order learning, because here the most of them time multiple choice questions will be asked here. That is remembering based upon the memorizing, based upon the knowledge, prior knowledge, we can able to answer those for those MCQs. And for the applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating, because these are all higher level. Higher level is nothing but we should think, we should create, because the questions will be of in a creative way, and it will be in the form of problem solving. For example, if we are doing an NPTEL course, and if it is of algorithms oriented or else machine learning oriented, so we used to get the questions only of a problem solving, like how much you have acquired, like that only they will evaluate us, because it will only create us to think more, because by thinking only we can able to analyze the problem, and we can solve the problem, and we can find the solution for that particular questions. So we should encourage all those things in our education systems also to be followed. And we also have to encourage all the students to be more creative, and they should also find answers for that particular questions in a creative, and they should also, we should encourage them actually. For example, if we are asking multiple choice questions for the higher education is nothing but the college students, if you are asking the questions, so if we are using means, we can whether we can give the objective questions like A or B or C or D, like that. If we are giving the questions answers for those questions means, we should not give the answers like those, uh, like A or B, C, D, like that we should not give. We can give the answers which should satisfy both the A and B, or A and C, or A and D, B and D, B and C, like that we can give the questions in a twisted form, because they can rethink and they will reread the questions, and they started to analyze, and they will give the answers for those particular questions. So it will solve some real-time problems also, because their thinking capability will also be increased, will also increased. So, and also the students will start to think why they are giving, because whether it satisfies the two criteria, like that they started to rethink. And mainly the performance assessment, how we are evaluating the performance assessment is, we are assessing through scoring method, like grading systems like 90 marks, 100 marks, 80 marks, like that we are allotting. And in that category there are two types, and the first one is a checklist, whether it was satisfied all the things. And the second thing is a rating scale. In the rating scale, it was classified as a rubrics. Rubrics is the method which is used for evaluating the performance assessment. I can give you how we have to give the rubrics, how we have to assessing the performance of the students. Like that, I can do it in a real thing. So judging how we are giving the scores to the based upon the performance means, based upon the four criteria we are giving the assessments to the students. and also we are designing the rubrics based upon the performance. The based upon the rubrics is used to follow the continuous progress, in which category they are securing this, in which category they are securing this, like that they can able to we can able to follow in rubrics. So we are evaluating the performance assessment in rubrics. And here there are 4 criteria. First thing is a content criteria, mainly whether why we are using means here we can evaluate the student knowledge, and also what facts they are applying, concepts, whether have they have been implemented, whether have they have written, well, for example, if you are giving the questions, whether you have written the correct answers for those category, those criteria will satisfy the content criteria. And the process criteria, it will be used to evaluate the performance of a skill, whether they have acquired those skills, and whether it has been continuously followed, like that the process criteria has been followed. And the quality criteria, here it is used to evaluate the overall quality. Overall quality means whether he satisfies all the criteria and he is securing those marks, like that. And also the impact criteria, whether it is also the overall results, but some other effects, or else effects means it's nothing but is there any cause, or else whether it was getting affected due to some reasons, like that we have to analyze in the impact criteria. And we are using the rubrics tool for evaluating the performance of assessment. We can give the students a grade as outstanding, excellent, very good, good, average, below average, poor, like that we used to give. This is the category of allotting grading of marks in the rubrics assessments also. And here even a single work also we can evaluate through the rubrics method. For the entire semester also we can monitor the progressive of the all the students in the rubrics in Google Classrooms also we can use this rubrics. And how we have to design the rubrics means, first we should identify the learning tool, which learning tools we are going to use, and we have to choose the outcomes, what they are going to achieve after this rubric, and we have to share these you are doing this, you are doing this, like that their achievement has to be continuously monitored, and their outcome has to be shared with the students. And also we should assess the grades is nothing but whatever we are evaluating the performance through giving the marks to the students. So we are giving some grades to the students based upon their results, and also we should analyze, and also we should report the results. This is the design pattern of rubrics. And here there are 2 types of rubrics: analytic rubrics and holistic rubrics. Analytic rubrics are mainly designed for it will categorize all the quality of assignment will be taken into account, but in the holistic accounts it will not taken, because analytic rubrics, each criteria they can allot separate marks. So for example, if I'm allotting for 2 marks, I can ask 5 questions, means I'm allotting 10 marks. And also for the if it is a big questions, I'm allotting for that 15 marks or 16 marks, like that I used to allocate, and combinedly I'm naming it as 100 marks, like that. But all the things have been done in the analytic rubrics. In holistic rubrics, we can at the moment only we can able to use, but uh, we cannot evaluate those things as a whole. Common evaluations cannot be done in the holistic rubrics. Why it will be helpful for the teachers, rubrics is helpful for the teachers, and why it is helpful for the students is nothing but we can allow because the faculty members will start to evaluate the assessment, and also the students quality has been because whenever we are evaluating the assessment, it will be give some feedbacks to the students, like whether he was good or whether he was average, so they can start to develop by themselves. So next thing we used to give feedbacks because the feedbacks will help the students. They started to do and they will started to rectify their mistakes, and they will started to learn. So it will be very helpful for the students, because in rubrics everyone, the teacher can also access uh, can access at any time, and also the students can access and they can view the marks and it will provide because each individual progress has been monitored by the teachers, and for students also they can how it will be evaluated, and what is evaluated has been discussed for the students. So this is rubrics, and I will show you how rubrics have to be created in the Google Classroom. So please you can see in that you can go for Google Classroom. If I'm giving, I'm going to create one rubric samples. So I'm just create assignment. So in that I'm giving some assessment one, or else anything we can give. How the assessment has been evaluated. So assessment one, so it is mandatory to submit. Mandatory to submit. Here I'm allocating for all the students. So I'm allotting marks and also the due dates. I'm creating topic assessment one. So I'm creating rubric, create rubric. Here you can give the title as 2 marks, and for that you can give the marks as 10 marks. I can allot the level as 1, and if it is, if he is securing 10 out of 10, I am allotting excellent. Then I am creating another level. If he is securing 7 marks and the level 2, he was good. And in the same way, we can create 5, level 3, and average I'm giving. So next thing also we can give below 5. So below 5 also I'm giving level 4, and the performance results are evaluating as poor. So in the same way, I'm giving for the 2 marks, and also for if I want to give the for big questions also, if I want to allot, so I can give big questions. So the same way, I'm allotting here as 90 marks because 2 marks, so 10 marks per 2 marks and 90 marks per big questions. So this is level 1. Excellent. The same thing. And if he's getting 70 and level 2, good. Next thing, I'm giving 50, and this is level 3. And here, average. And if he's getting 15 marks, and it is level 4, and the performance is very poor. So in the same way, I can give the categories of marks I have allotted, because 10 marks I have allotted for the 2 marks and 90 marks I have allotted. So totally 100 marks. So I'm saving this. So the rubric has been allotted in 2 criteria. We may give it for the quiz or else for the assessments, whatever the performance assessment we used to evaluate, we can give in the rubrics. And totally, you can see here, for 10 points, I'm giving excellent. For 7 points, I'm giving good. For 5 points, I'm giving average. And for 2 points, I'm giving poor. And for 90 points, But if it is a big questions, I'm giving excellent, like that category I have been allotted. So in that, I'm just assigning one assignment. Either assignment or else assessment, you can just put it. Then you can just assign assign to the students. So the assignment has been created. So if the students want to submit those assignments, they can go. Because I have given some assignment, so I'm going to submit. I'm going to just submit my assignment answers. So it was uploading. So I'm just submitted my assignment. So my assignment have been submitted. So in that, one person have submitted. So I'm just clicking. So the answer script has been submitted. So in that category, so I'm just allotting mark for each category because the 2 marks have been written, and also for the big questions also they have written, and we can check all the diagrams, equations and everything they have written. So I'm just giving the marks for 2 marks. I'm giving 10 out of 10, but for big questions I'm giving 70 marks. So I am giving written. So the mark has been allotted to the students. So completely they are getting for the 10 marks, for 2 marks, for 2 marks they have secured 10 out of 10. For the big questions they have secured 50 marks out of 90 marks. So totally they have secured 60 marks out of 100 marks. But we can monitor all these things in rubrics also. In rubric points we can click it. So the mark has been allotted. So out of 60 out of 100 has been secured by this candidate, like that it will be shown to the students also. So like that we can monitor the performance of the assessment in the rubric category. We can do the assessment or else assignment, quiz, like that we can perform in the rubrics sessions. So if anybody having doubts in these sessions, please can you please share it, sir? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Yes, sir.
Madam, you can stop sharing, madam. If completed.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for your wonderful presentation.
Yes, sir.
On behalf of mechanical department, I extend a really heartily vote of thanks to our expert speaker, Ms. S. Jayachitra, who spread time from his busy schedule to grace the occasion. Today, we had an opportunity to hear from our expert, and this will surely be going to encourage us in our future endeavors. Your thoughts have enlightened our minds and have shown us a new path. Thank you once again, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.